everyone, and welcome to another brand new episode of the
Geek
Buddies!
Hey! Gobble, 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 gobble. Ho, ho! Let's do it.
Absolutely. It's Thanksgiving Day week, and we are, recording this right before Thanksgiving happens. So we send you all a happy Thanksgiving, a wish for happy Thanksgiving. We're going to talk about so many things here on the show for sure. We're going to get some breaking news that we have attached to Black Panther 2. We got some breaking news about that. We're going to get into some trailers here. We're going to talk some Kathleen Kennedy stuff. And our main topic today, we'll take the break, and our main topic will be talking about things that we're thankful for in the world of geekdom. And yes, of course, we're thankful for all of you who listen and watch us, but also other things we are thankful for in the world of geekdom. That's what we're going to do. But first of all, let's introduce ourselves. I'm the outlaw John Rocha, writer, producer, and host here on the Geek Buddies. Michael?
I'm Michael Vogel. I'm a writer and producer of animated TV shows and movies.
Shan?
And this is Shannon McClung. I'm an animation writer and a television actor where you may have seen me on Brooklyn Nine-Nine, The Goldbergs, and Silicon Valley.
That's right. And today we are brought to you by our new sponsor here, Carbon Health. They're incredible people. They live under the credo of everyone deserves good health. They want to make high quality healthcare accessible for everyone. That's what they're all about here. They do urgent care, primary care, and virtual care. They're a leading national healthcare provider with a mission to bring high-quality healthcare to everybody. Carbon Health has 90 clinics in 14 states and offers virtual care in 24 states. And some of you are like, wait, why are you talking about health stuff? Hey, no matter what age you are, taking care of yourself and dealing with the health stuff, it is super important, as we're going to get into here in some of the topics on the show.
Listen,
Mikey, tell them, Mikey.
We all sit around and watch a lot of things.
Yes, we do.
And it is easy to get real sedentary. You just Postmates that Taco Bell. You pop on Netflix. Yeah. We need Carbon Health to stay healthy geeks. Because a happy geek is a healthy geek, and a healthy geek is a happy geek.
And a healthy geek will stick around longer, Shannon.
Yes, I agree.
and keep being a part of the Geek Buddies for sure.
Yes.
All right, real quick, for those of you who are new to the show, thank you so much for taking a chance on us. For those of you who are not new, thanks for staying aboard. We appreciate it madly. The way it works is each of us presents a geek news topic. We talk about it amongst ourselves, take a quick break, and jump into our main topic. So I'm going to lead off this with this breaking news.
Do I get to do it?
Please, yes. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
All right, Mike? Shannon gets his trailers. Now I go. Okay, ready? Beep, 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 beep. Breaking geek news.
That's right. Breaking geek news. We got this from a pretty reliable source of ours who is close to the production. That person, we've through a couple of sources here, we've got this that are close to the production here of Black Panther 2. The news is that it was absolutely going to be Shuri as Black Panther 2. And the reason they have shut down is they shot apparently 70% of Black Panther 2. But because the actress refuses to get vaccinated, they are now absolutely retooling everything, changing their approach, and someone else will now be Black Panther in Black Panther 2. But it was going to be Shuri, but it is because of Letitia Wright's anti-vaccination stance. That's what we're hearing. Like, we can't confirm this, but that's what we're hearing from our sources, and we feel like we should break this on the show, that's the reason why Black Panther 2 is shutting down right now. They're rewriting the script, and they're going to reshoot a bunch of this with someone else as Black Panther. Gentlemen, reactions.
Well, just to be clear, so yeah, this is what we're hearing. We don't know 100% if it is confirmed, but it sounds pretty reliable, like Johnny said. And also to be clear, not that they are making a political statement and saying you aren't getting vaxxed. It is just logistically, they can't shoot the movie because there are rules and they can't have her there. So I think that just given the challenges, it sounds like, obviously we all know that there was a script prior to Chadwick Boseman's passing, where he would have been carrying on the torch as T'Challa as Black Panther. That went away. Now, apparently, the script that was 70% shot was Shuri as Black Panther, and now that is going away, and now there's going to be a third Black Panther. So, a lot going on in Wakanda. That is for sure.
What's your reaction to this, Shannon? I mean, Shuri Wright, there was a lot of rumors about her having these anti-vaccination stands. She's spoken about it. And listen, by the way, rightfully so. I mean, I understand a lot of people I know in the Black community. We've heard from the members of the Black and Brown community and Latino community as well. A lot of suspicion about the government giving them vaccination, all these kinds of things. So it's not, and because of the history of how the government has given vaccinations to people of color in this country, that is something that they take very seriously. So there's a lot of trepidation here. So certainly no judgment on her stance. She has a right to be anti-vaccination, but a company also has a right to go forward and decide what they want to do and what kind of set they want to run for sure. So what's your reaction here to first, A, she was going to be Black Panther, but B, now that they're absolutely changing course or changing horses midstream and going in a new direction with Black Panther 2?
Well, I mean, to the first point, I think that's what everyone had kind of presumed, because in the comics, Shuri has been Black Panther in the past. So the fact that that was going to happen, not a huge surprise, but still, it's like we have, you know, loosey-goosey confirmation from our source that that's what was going to happen. Right. In terms of them changing everything and retooling everything this deep into production, that's a big move. But as Vogel put it, like this does not seem to be a political move. This is a logistical move that she was recovering from an injury, allegedly, at home in England, and to get back in the country now, like you apparently you have to be vaccinated. Right. So, I mean, you can't make the movie if your lead is not there. Like you can only shoot around your main cast members' coverage for so long. So it's not a shock that ultimately they did have to make this decision. I'd be curious to hear what the discussions were behind this. I mean, further behind the scenes than we know about. Like, should we just take the movie off the calendar for just keep kicking the can down the road until she's ready? Or were they looking at the long game and being like, look, this ties into this ties into this ties into this, and she's going to be a prominent player moving forward. Maybe it's best to cut our losses now.
Michael, we just, I don't know if you guys have seen this, but 2 General Hospital actors were removed from the series, from the soap opera, because they won't get vaccinated. And so they're gone. Is Letitia Wright gone from Black Panther is what I'm asking you. Do you think that just that this anti-vaccination issue extends to the point where they're like, they're not going to have her back, which is why they're reshooting this whole thing. They're going to go a whole new direction and not even have her be a part of the MCU anymore.
I mean, I think that, I don't know. It's all a shame to me. Well, I'm backing up. I think I
rarely stump Michael. So yes.
Well, I think it's just disappointing because I think when Black Panther came out, I think it's safe to say that Letitia Wright's performance as Shuri was one of the standout parts of the movie. Everybody loved her. Absolutely. Everybody thought she was amazing. Everybody was excited when she showed up in Infinity War. Like, she's a great character. Shuri's a great character in the comics. I think Letitia Wright did a really good job playing Shuri and bringing her into the MCU. And so as all of this anti-vax stuff was going on, as is the case with lots of people on social media, there was a lot of kind of disappointment and kind of like, ugh, this is annoying. As Shannon said, logistically, I think you just reach a point where it just becomes too hard. I think that if they were going to just recast her, if they were just going to get rid of Letitia Wright, then maybe they would just recast her and still keep Shuri as the main character in this movie. I think the fact that they're shifting gears means they'll probably keep Letitia Wright. I don't think this is a punitive, you've ruined everything for us, we're going to kick you out. So I think that Shuri will remain in the MCU. TBD what happens with her in the future. Maybe once all of this is all said and done and we've all calmed down and COVID is just this horrible memory of that amazing 2 years where we all were miserable, then Shuri can go on and do amazing things. So maybe this is just a move where for now they need to keep moving. Because I do think, to Shannon's point, if a lot of the rumors that we've heard about Namor and some of these other things that might be popping up in Black Panther 2, it sounds like Black Panther 2 is going to be pretty prominent and important in where the MCU is going in Phase 4. So I don't know that they want to wait and kick it down the curb. So I think they're doing what they need to do to keep the movie at least somewhat on schedule. Yeah. And then hopefully down the road, we'll see what happens with Shuri. That seems like the most level-headed way to handle it.
Yeah, and just to clarify, we are getting this from a source of ours who has a source on the set who had access to the scripts and had read the scripts and had been on the set for some of the shooting of Black Panther 2, and they were able to give us this kind of information. So kind of crazy, and we're breaking this first time I think we've done breaking news on the Geek Buddies here.
That's why I did that's why I did the bit.
Yeah,
I had the opening. It's the first time I got to do it.
So
don't you breaking geek news?
Which is like the old MTV. But yeah, that's the situation. But I wonder where we're going for. Like, okay, so then the next step here before we wrap up this particular section of this topic, who is going to be the Black Panther? We heard from our source as well that the rumor is Winston Duke. M'Baku seems to be the next logical choice because he fought, remember, T'Challa in the first movie to become Black Panther. So the death of T'Challa opens the door to the possibility of M'Baku stepping in here. And that could work storyline-wise because remember, they had kind of ostracized themselves from the other tribes because they didn't like how technologically advanced the other tribes had become, the country had become. They wanted to go back to the old ways and keep in the tradition of the old ways. Now bringing them into the future and having to be part of leading this nation against everything. It's an interesting challenge and some fun storylines to explore. Do you think M'Baku is the way they're going to go?
I think right now they're probably saying it's a shame that we killed Killmonger, but I do think that given who's left alive in the moment, I think M'Baku is a pretty good safe bet. I think that, to your point, like when you look at like the arc of the movie and how close he was to becoming the Black Panther, I think that it would make story sense for that arc to continue with him.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you think so too, Shannon? Or is, Michael will go back with you on this after Shannon speaking. Wakabi Daniel Kaluuya just won a Best Actor Oscar, or Best Supporting Actor Oscar. Is this a possibility as well?
I think Wakabi is off the board.
Okay.
In my opinion, I think Winston Duke as the head of his tribe, there's a story path for that makes sense.
Okay.
Also Okoye Denai Guerrero is very, very popular. People would be absolutely down to see her wear the vibranium suit of Black Panther, but also Lupita Nyong'o's Nakia. Right. I mean, this is a character that we haven't seen since Black Panther, and people have talked about that. Like, how come she didn't come back for Infinity War? How come how come she wasn't there during Endgame? Like, she was basically a spy. Like, she was brought back for because T'Chaka died, and so ostensibly she's probably out in the world someplace. But there are options out there. Winston Duke, by all accounts, is a wonderful person. Yeah. So I think the idea of having this massive dude be Black Panther is kind of cool. But again, I think Okoye or Nakia would both be awesome. But Wakabi, I think, is gone.
I think Okoye or Nakia before Wakabi as well. Mainly just, you're right, he's an amazing actor. But his arc in Black Panther 1 was best friend to I betrayed you. Yeah. And having that come back around to I'm gonna do the right. There's it's not as clean as Nakia's a potential storyline, Okoye's potential storyline, or M'Baku's potential storyline. Which all three of them, you have really strong reasons why they would want to and be right to step into that role. I'm gonna throw one more out here, and it's kind of out of left field, but it's it's connected to what's happened in the comics. Is this the way they bring in Storm? Does Storm now? Do we find out that this character, this person, Storm, that she has Wakandan blood? Do they adjust her origin, have her have Wakandan blood, and have her come in? And that way, you were already going with a female Black Panther. You could go with Nakia. You could go with Denai Guerrero's Okoye. You could go that direction. But the possibility of Storm could be in play here as a way of kind of introducing her before you introduce the X-Men. I mean, that sounds like something DC would do, not Marvel.
We've heard for a bit that Storm could possibly pop up, but that was a while ago, and I don't think the introduction of Storm kind of solves your problem now. I think that's adding another piece on the board that is not the lead.
Okay.
I also think just again, and this is kind of like when we were talking about last week with Andrew Garfield potentially rescuing Zendaya, if all of the stuff that we were conjecturing about No Way Home. If you are a hardcore comic book fan who has been waiting your entire life to see the X-Men show up in the MCU, which most of us are, Aurora stepping up to be the Black Panther, we would all be like, oh, that's really cool. If you are not a comic book person,
true,
and you go see this movie and some random woman who you've never seen before shows up and says, I'm Black Panther now, you're kind of like, huh? And that's why I think like whether or not these characters who are going to become mutants start popping up in the MCU in some of these movies, definitely a possibility. I have no idea what they're going to do with mutants and how they're going to handle it, but I don't think they're going to all of a sudden show up and then take super prominent roles.
Yeah, fair enough. All right. Well, just something to think about. All right. Well, there we go. That's our breaking geek news here. We got it just before we started recording the news that Shuri was going to be Black Panther and Black Panther 2. And due to the anti-vaccination stance of Letitia Wright, they have shut down production. They had shot 70% of the movie. They've now shut down production to kind of course correct and readjust. And we'll find out down the road who the new Black Panther will be in this new version. And God bless Ryan Coogler, who's probably had to rewrite the script like 35 times, for God's sake. You both write. You're both writers. I'm sure this would drive you both insane.
I would cry. I would cry.
When you look at the different like this could be the third version, and it's not like he takes one pass at it and it's done. Like you're doing multiple versions, and to know that you've done multiple versions of one, then another, now you're going back in. Oh boy, that sounds like a lot of work.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, where are we off to next in our second geek news item here? Michael?
Well, as is often the case, we are leaving the MCU and going to a galaxy far, far away because it's our two favorite things to talk about. But Empire Magazine has an article coming out. They interviewed Kathleen Kennedy about all things Star Wars. She talks about a lot of things. She talks a lot about the really emotional reunion of Hayden Christensen and Ewan McGregor as Anakin and Obi-Wan on the set of Obi-Wan and how great that was. But the other thing that came up is that she talks about the sequel trilogy. And even though this is just a little comment, got everybody on the internet's a buzzing, saying certainly those are not characters we're going to forget, teased Kennedy of that third generation of Star Wars heroes. They will live on, and those are conversations that are going on with the creative team as well. The Force is as strong as ever. So kind of just confirming the fact that despite the mixed reactions across the board, I think is safe to say, to Force Awakens, Last Jedi, and Rise of Skywalker, that Star Wars is on a road where Rey, Finn, Poe, and the whole gang, Kylo's Force Ghost, are all sort of still in play. And as they continue to fill out the universe, both sort of leading up from sort of Mandalorian era post-Return of the Jedi towards Force Awakens, and picking up in the movies and TV series and animated shows that are going to take place either during or beyond the trilogy, that we're still going to see these characters, that we are not going to leave Rey Skywalker behind, and that we're going to see more of them. So what do you guys think about that? I mean, we talk a lot about what Star Wars is doing right, what we think Star Wars is doing wrong. We talked about Patty Jenkins' movie just kind of, disappearing off the board. Rian Johnson's movie apparently disappearing off the board. And Kevin Feige's movie still going strong. What are your guys' thoughts about Rey, Finn, Poe, and the gang?
Sure.
Well, I mean, it in terms of is there more story to tell? I don't know, like Rey Skywalker. That I don't know a ton of people who enjoyed that, but there probably were some folks out there who liked that turn. A lot of it has to do with the actors. They've all been pretty clear that I believe Oscar Isaac said in an interview, if I need to buy a new summer house, maybe he'll go back to Star Wars again. A lot of it is getting them back, and as of right now, it seems like they don't have any interest. But time heals all wounds. At the end of Revenge of the Sith, I imagine Ewan McGregor was probably very done with playing in the Star Wars sandbox, but a little bit of time passes and you see how much that character is revered and how much people want to know what's going to happen to him. And the fact that he's aged into
and how much he needs a new summer home.
Oh,
100%, 100%. Those residuals for the prequel trilogy might be running out.
Yeah.
So a lot of it is just if they can get the people back. Is there more story to tell? That comes down to your writer and director. Is there, like, I know people have speculated that we'll finally get to see what we wanted to see with Luke. We wanted to see him try to reestablish the Jedi Order. Is that something? Is that the torch that Rey's going to pick up? I know a lot of people would like to see Finn have his story served a little bit better, because it started off in a potentially exciting place, and ultimately they kind of dropped the ball. And Oscar Isaac, who doesn't like him? Like, everyone would love to see more Adventures of Poe Dameron. Do I think it'll happen? Probably not for a while. Their plate seems to be fairly full at the moment, but stranger things have happened. I thought for sure we were going to be seeing Rogue Squadron in 2 years. So,
well, when the mouse comes calling, the mouse shows up with a big suitcase most of the time. So, I mean, like that's all of a sudden your little independent film projects kind of go by the wayside in your mind, because there could be a really good, nice payday for this situation, depending on where you're at. Oscar Isaac has been developing for quite some time here as a force, as an actor, a lot of developing respect, doing his thing. And a lot of people have enjoyed him in numerous projects. John Boyega, we haven't seen much of him. There's the Small Axe episode, but not much else. There's an ABC series that he was on, that he's gone. So where are we going to see? I don't know what we're going to see from him going forward. And Daisy Ridley, who, kind of gone back to these smaller roles, playing in these smaller films, not really leading. I mean, nobody went to see Chaos Walking. She was a part of the Death on the Nile or whatever it was. And there's little things like that you see her popping up in, but she's not leading a new franchise. So the idea is here, there's some bridge building to be done with these actors. And these actors haven't moved on to bigger projects to kind of leave Star Wars or Disney behind. So the bridge building has got to be done here. And you guys know, as creatives, if the story is good, then the interest can come back. I mean, I'm sure Ewan McGregor came back because he looked at that script and was like, this looks awesome. Yes, I want to be a part of it. There's enough time that's passed. I can dive in. There's plenty of story to tell with Rey. I love Rey. I think Rey's a fantastic character. I would love to see more with Rey. I think she's a badass. Give me some more. I don't care about if I ever see Kylo Ren again. Rey is who I wanted to see. I'd love to see more with Finn. No more Captain Phasma. Let Finn do his story and do that. And same thing with Poe Dameron. So I think what has to happen here is whoever, maybe Filoni, maybe Favreau, maybe somebody comes in as a creative, looks at the story and pares down all the stuff that really didn't work and focuses on the nuts and bolts of what makes each of these characters work. And maybe they're each mini Disney Plus series, right? Finn in his own series, Rey in her own series, Poe Dameron in his own series. All of that could be very, very interesting. They don't necessarily have to be, circling around each other. They can pop up in each other's series, but they don't have to necessarily be series regulars in each other's series. So I think that's a possibility to explore for sure. And I like that Kathleen Kennedy is handing out the olive branch, putting out the olive branch to maybe open the door just a little bit for those actors to start considering the possibility.
I mean, they kind of need to be in each other's series if you were going to go that way a little bit. Rey's got to train Finn in the Force, and Finn has to wake up every morning next to his boyfriend Poe. So there's definitely a lot of interplay between these three.
New breaking geek news. Here we go. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
Listen, Oscar Isaac clearly wanted them to be boyfriends. From all accounts, J.J. Abrams wanted to make them boyfriends. It's about time that we all just admitted those two are boyfriends.
Okay.
But even beyond that, I think one of the things you guys are both forgetting is that with the prequel trilogy, the thing that fixed lot of the things was Clone Wars, which was animated. Right. And there's no reason that you can't continue the adventures of Rey, Finn, Poe, the New Republic, the remnants of the First Order in animation the same way that we did with Clone Wars, until you get to the point where you're going to get everybody back for a live action movie where they ironed out some of maybe the story points that weren't as well ironed out and have them ready to step into bigger roles. Because I think all of those actors did great jobs. Yeah. And I also think, to John's point, I like the characters. There's a lot in the new trilogy that I like, and I like Rey a lot. I love when I go to Galaxy's Edge, seeing little boys and little girls absolutely lose their shit when they see Rey and Chewie together. They just see Rey and they love Rey. And so I think that there's an entire generation of kids that are growing up with Rey and Finn and Poe, and it would be awesome for them to get more adventures. And I think animation, just like with Clone Wars, is a really strong contender in a way to do that, that will then get you to the point where whatever's happening next. Because I think the bigger question that they are really clearly struggling with right now than what do we do with Rey or what do we do with Poe, or is there a good individual story there, is where is the galaxy going?
Yeah.
Like, we gave them kind of a pass with Force Awakens where you were like, okay, well, where the galaxy went is exactly where it was the first time. We have the bad guys, we have the good guys, we have a scrappy resistance instead of a rebellion. Like, we kind of just changed the names, but the characters were the same. But I don't know that you can do that again and say, 25 years later, the Empire's back again, so we gotta rebel one more time. There's no more R words that you can use. So they need to do something different. And I think they don't really know what that is. I think that putting together a new Jedi Order, or what do you do with the Jedi, or what do Jedi do in this universe? Because clearly we've seen, if you're reading the High Republic books, and then if you've watched Clone Wars and you've watched the prequels, like, Jedi Order can be pretty awesome, but can also be a little problematic.
Some questions,
I think that answering what to do with the Jedi and what the balance of the light and the dark side of the Force is, which are some pretty big questions, kind of helps you figure out where to go. And I really think they have no idea yet.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, and who wants to be the first? And I think we talked about this Rogue Squadron. Maybe Patty's like, I don't want to be the first one through the door. No, I'm good. You guys, wherever you guys create something, then I'll go be a part of it. Maybe at that point, she'll come back to the situation.
I think most creative people have a solid balance of the anxiety to be afraid to be the first person to go through the door, and the ego to say, I'm going to be the one that's going to go through the door.
Great point.
I also think,
that's Christopher Nolan, how that worked out with Tenet. But anyway, go. Yeah.
But I also think that as they are trying to figure out where they're going to go with all this, I think a big piece of the puzzle that might help lead to that direction is whatever the hell Filoni is doing as he's overwriting the Ahsoka scripts right now. Like, he's saying that he's having the time of his life writing these scripts because this is an adventure for Ahsoka that he's had in his head a long time, and that as he's writing it, it's interesting to see how it's evolving and changing as you actually have to figure out all those details as you're actually putting pen to page. And so I think that just given the timeline of things, and Ahsoka and Sabine and potentially Ezra, and what those Jedi or gray Jedi or not quite Jedi or Force wielders are doing, while Rey is over here doing what she's doing post Rise of Skywalker, there's a world where you bring all these characters together and 10 years from now or whatever it is, and we all blow our goddamn minds. Like, we just lose it. So
absolutely.
If there's a new Jedi Order and it's Ezra, Ahsoka, and Rey, like, sign me up. I'm out. I'm in.
Is that a Death Star? It's a kill star.
It's a boom. It's a boom planet.
It's a boom planet.
Oh, it's a boom planet. It's totally different. It's a boom planet. Okay, cool.
Not 6-minute abs, 7-minute abs. All right, Shannon, any final words?
Resist. Recoil. Like, I was literally thinking, I'm like, what are other R words that we could use? Release.
Nope.
All right, Shannon, I think you're up next with the trailer. We'll keep tabs on that, Mikey, and Shannon for sure as it goes along, and seeing if there's ever going to be a new project announced with any of these characters come back. Would be very, very interesting, especially the John Boyega one. They're going to do a lot of bridge building to make that happen if they do. Shannon, where are we off to next?
With trailers. We only got 2 this week. The first one I actually got to see in the theaters. And this was a project that, when it was first announced, it was like, yeah, why? But then we got our first teaser, and then we got our first trailer now for DC League of Superpets, starring Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson as Crypto, Kevin Hart as Ace, and we found out just recently that John Krasinski is going to be the voice of Superman. We've also got Kate McKinnon, Vanessa Bayer, Natasha Lyonne, Diego Luna, Keanu Reeves, and Mark Maron, for all you WTF fans, as the voice of Lex Luthor, which we get to hear him talk in this trailer, and I was shocked. I was like, I really thought Lex Luthor was going to be an aging hipster, really disgruntled guy. And I'm like, holy shit, Mark Maron's really doing a good job. So we got to see the first look. We're getting an idea of the story. But gentlemen, I'll throw it to you all first. What did you all think of our second look at the DC League of Superpets?
Mikey, you're the animation guy.
So far, everything that I've seen of it looks like it's a really solid movie. I think that The biggest thing that I got out of this trailer is A, we're going to get a lot more of the human superheroes than I thought we were going to get, which I'm definitely on board for. It looks really, really funny. But B, that it's not, oh, here's Batman's pet, here's Wonder Woman's pet, here's Green Lantern's pet. Like, what you get from the trailer is Crypto is the super dog. And all of these other pets, including Ace, who, if you're a comic book guy, you know is going to be Batman's, or is supposed to be Batman's dog, Ace the Bat
Hound.
But these other pets look like they are just rescues that, due to whatever crazy Lex Luthor thing happens, the Justice League loses their powers, and all of these random pets who don't know how to be heroes end up getting the powers. And so it's up to Crypto, the Rock, to find the hero in all of these pets. And that, just from a basic, this is the setup of the story, that there's a lot more to mine there for a strong, emotional, animated story that really works well. Like that Crypto kind of having this issue of like, I need you guys to help me save the heroes, and these guys being like, we don't know what the fuck we're doing. It's that bad news bears, let's train these guys, let's get these guys into shape to be the heroes we need them to be. That's way more interesting than here's every superhero's pet who has similar powers to those people. Let's watch them do some stuff. So just the fact that they made that pretty significant change, that's a good storytelling change. So I'm actually really, really stoked about it from everything I've seen so far.
Yeah, I loved it. I thought it was great. I mean, if you're going to walk into this, as Michael said, you got to have a new, interesting way than just attaching these pets to their human counterparts, right? That's the big complaint with Marvel. Oh, you just made the villain the exact opposite of the hero. That's not inventive. This was new and interesting. I like this approach. Having read occasional DC League of Superpets comics growing up as a teenager just for fun, it's nice to see it kind of take on this.
You don't have to excuse it. You don't have to excuse it. Embrace it.
I like that this is where you draw the line. Yeah. Maybe I read it, maybe I didn't.
Look at a couple of them. Oh, I just picked it up accidentally.
Oh, is this? Oh, Cloak and Dagger? Anyway, I love the idea that we're presenting this from a new angle. And I love The Rock and Kevin Hart. I mean, they have a natural comedic chemistry. I like that they're essentially going to maybe be battling for control, just like Batman and Superman do, control of the pack here of pets, which I think is really funny. You're seeing the shades of everyone, right? The turtle being Flash, essentially. Looks like the little squirrel is Shazam. So everyone's got their little things that they've got going on that's all going to work in some fun and interesting ways. And the cat is the villain, which I think is great. Totally works because no one trusts a cat, even though I love cats. And then, yes, Mark Maron, of all people, someone who on his own podcast talked crap about these superhero films, has now been in Joker, and he's now the voice of Lex Luthor. I just heard him in an interview with Kenneth Branagh for Belfast. It dropped a couple of weeks ago, and he full on says, yeah, because he said he hadn't watched any of the Marvel movies, but, he talked some crap about them, but then he showed up in Joker, and everyone gave him crap for being a Joker. But he's like, I was only in a scene or two with De Niro. Who's going to turn that down? And now he's full on a voice in an animated superhero film from WB and DC. So he can't say shit about superhero films anymore. And I think that's a good thing as well. And maybe he was angling so he could play a bigger role like Lex Luthor, which is why he was talking all that crap. But
I mean, listen,
all of it works, man.
If you want to play Lex Luthor, the best thing that you can do is shit on superheroes. Yeah, so it was a good strategy, really, if you think about it.
I don't trust him. Yeah, exactly. But yeah, I love it. It's a lot of fun. And I love the animation. It's interesting. It's bright, which I dig. And it's easily accessible no matter what age you are to enjoy for sure. And it's got that little bit of Secret Life of Pets vibe to it as well. So having Kevin Hart in it kind of makes you go like, well, which film am I watching? So I like it. Very, very good stuff. And The Rock, now he's also Crypto and Black Adam. Interesting. All right.
Yeah, I thought the trailer was adorable. I thought it was super funny. And I also love the idea that Superman wants Crypto to connect with other animals, which is something, that's a Superman point, is, the ability to connect when you are essentially a god. And great little comedic moment between Crypto and I think a corgi who has just bitten a FedEx man. Super, super funny. Yeah. DC League of Superpets is going to be out in May of 2022. And our second trailer, which really isn't a trailer, it was basically the first 5 minutes of the movie, was for Jurassic World Dominion from Colin Trevorrow, coming back to finish off his trilogy. We got a lot of dinosaurs, we got some more dinosaurs, and we got some more dinosaurs. Gentlemen, what did we think of our first look of the first 5 minutes of Jurassic World Dominion? Have at it.
I'll go real quick. I'm not the biggest fan of this franchise over the last few films. I really am not. But I like the opening 5 minutes here. I like the intro. I like the dinosaurs being a part of this thing and them working it back into modern day at the drive-in. Kind of very similar to what happened in Jurassic Park 2, where they're walking all over the Blockbuster video and stuff in San Diego. Hey, my town now. But I like this approach to it. So at least for me, they stupidly sucked me back in to think that maybe this is the good one from this series, other than the first Jurassic Park film. We shall see. But what did you think, Mike?
You like the dinosaurs in your dinosaur trailer there, John? Is that what you're saying?
Hey, they could look cheesy. They could look bad.
Look, as I said on Twitter, of course they showed you 5 minutes of dinosaurs.
Yeah.
The dinosaurs aren't the problem with this new trilogy. I fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. Fool me 3 times, fuck us all. I don't know what to tell you, but well
said.
You know what we know is true?
Yeah.
We can make dinosaurs look fucking awesome.
Yeah, true.
Like, dinosaurs look amazing. And the dinosaurs in this trailer looked so cool. I mean, down to the details of, like, the T-Rex even had, like, hair on his back, because we know that dinosaurs had feathers and hair and more stuff than we used to think they did. And, like, all the details, just these dinosaurs were spectacular looking. And just seeing 5 minutes of dinosaurs doing dinosaur things, if that's what Jurassic Park 3 Dominion was going to be, like, or Jurassic World Dominion was going to be, it was just a bunch of dinosaurs doing dinosaur things, get someone to come in and narrate it like it's a Netflix special, I'd be in. I'd be so happy. But no, they're going to have a bunch of human characters come in and do some stupid shit, just like they did in the first 2 movies. Also, I'm probably going to go see it in theaters. So, you know what? So screw me. I just don't think it's going to be good. No, I just don't think it's going to be good. But I'm going to go.
Yeah. This movie is going to look fantastic on the big screen. Like, you want to see, again, you want to see it in IMAX. You want to see it on a really big screen. You want the dinosaurs to be as big as possible. If Attenborough had come in and started narrating the face-off between the T-Rex and the other dinosaur, I'm like Vogel. I'm like, oh, that would have been incredible. The moment that the modern day footage started, I actually thought it was kind of cool, like the helicopter chasing it down. I think they probably have the worst sniper ever, that you couldn't hit a T-Rex.
Yeah.
That's a large target. But, you know, I mean, Trevorrow, you know, it was his idea, this new trilogy. Jurassic World, for how much I didn't think it was like a great movie, I was like, wow, that was a fun summer movie. That was a great afternoon at the movies, even though I have no need to go see this again. Will he kind of deliver on the finale of this trilogy? We will find out in June of 2022.
Oof, we shall see. All right, let's take a quick break and jump into our main topics here. And we're talking about things we're grateful for as we are on the precipice of another Thanksgiving here in 2021. We're right back right after this.
Dun, 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 dun. Thank you for being a friend.
Oh.
Ba, 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 ba. Travel around the world and back
down
again.
The road.
I didn't watch the show. I got the theme.
You never watched the show?
No, I haven't watched the show in 20 years.
Okay.
I remember the theme.
I'm telling you right now, that show, the writing on that show rivals anything people watch on Friends or Seinfeld over and over again. Golden Girls holds up to ultimate rewatches.
I feel like different animals.
Is John is Dorothy, Shannon is Rose, and does that make me Blanche? Am I Blanche? Out of the 3 of us, I'm Blanche, but that's getting that's Geek Buddies After Dark.
I think John is Sophia.
No, I think I'm Blanche.
John, I don't know if you know anything about Blanche's character, but
yeah, I do.
You're Sophia.
I've slept with a lot of people. I could be Blanche.
John,
you're Sophia.
John,
I am not Sophia. Yeah,
you are Sophia.
You're Sophia. You're the short, sarcastic one. You're Sophia.
I'm the youngest. I'm the youngest one here.
Wait, well, so was Estelle Getty. So was Estelle Getty, though.
Yeah,
on set, she was the youngest one out of the 4 of them.
But am I Estelle Getty or am I Sophia? Sophia was the oldest one.
Oh God, this is horrible.
Yeah, but Axel, he's the prude. Sophia was the prude. You're kind of a prude in certain things, wouldn't you say?
Sophia was not the prude.
What are you talking about?
You're Dorothy.
All right, fine. I'll be Dorothy.
I want every gay Geek Buddies. Every gay Geek Buddies viewer, please confirm in the comments section or on Twitter that I am correct, that John Rocha is Dorothy and Shannon is Rose, and I'm probably Blanche.
All right, Photoshop us onto a good divorce. All right. Anyway, what we're talking about here, we got about a few minutes left in our show because we had a little bit of a time constraint, is to talk about what we are thankful for on this Thanksgiving as we're about to celebrate. Look, it's been a crazy year, 12 months since that last Thanksgiving. So, and it's still happening, but this is a time to get together. More and more people are vaccinated. So maybe as opposed to last year, more people are hanging out with their friends, hanging out with their family, doing stuff this weekend. So we want to thank you all for being fans of the Geek Buddies and listeners of the Geek Buddies, but we also want to give thanks for certain things that are going on in our world. Mikey, you want to take it away?
Thank you for being a buddy. Put up with us as we get so nutty. Your heart is true. You're a pal and a confidant. All right. No, we actually were talking
a lyricist, folks. He is a lyricist.
We were actually talking, and like we're really excited. In addition to just being super grateful for all of you, because thanks to all of you listening and Carbon Health, our sponsor, we get to keep doing this every week, and we get to talk all geeky stuff, and we really do truly enjoy it. And so it's awesome. And obviously, I'm thankful for my two co-hosts here, my buddies, who have been my buddies for quite some time. But we were actually really excited because as we were all talking about our weekend plans, we realized that it is a geek cornucopia this weekend of awesome things to do. And each one of us kind of was throwing out the things that we're most excited about. And I will dive in first. But one of the things I'm super stoked is, obviously, I'm an animation nerd and a big animation fan, and there's more animation right now to watch than ever before. So as you are catching up, there's a ton of things to watch, but just focusing on Netflix for a second, if you haven't watched Maya and the Three yet, this is your weekend to check it out.
Oh, yeah.
It's amazing. Even more so than that, if you haven't checked out Arcane yet on Netflix, that is really one of the craziest things that I've ever seen in my life as an animator. I had to talk to my therapist about how good it was because it was giving me anxiety how good it was. That's how good this is. So Netflix teamed up with Riot Games and did this show Arcane, which is kind of a prequel series to the League of Legends animated series. They worked with French animation studio Fortiche to deliver this, and Fortiche kind of like went above and beyond. I've never seen an animated style quite like this before. It is CG, painterly. A friend of mine was saying that it basically looks like the way concept art looks when you look at those art of books and you see the amazing concept art and you're like, God, it would have looked cool if it had looked like that. That's what Arcane looks like. It's an amazing story. I'm not a League of Legends guy. I know literally zero about League of Legends, and I'm now obsessed with these characters. So I'm probably going to rewatch most of it this weekend. But if you haven't checked it out, I highly recommend you check it out this weekend. And if you've already checked out Arcane and you've already watched Maya and the Three, don't worry, there's more, because the back half of He-Man Masters of the Universe Revelations came out today.
Yeah.
So for all of you that were super mad about the first 5 episodes, you can see if they win you back in the next 5. And for all of you that actually thought the first 5 were pretty awesome, like I think the 3 of us did, you can check out and see how it wraps up. And I'm sure it's still going to be pretty awesome. I've already watched the first episode and they dive right back into the mix of it. And so, I am thankful for animation. And particularly on Netflix, because the other big news today that was announced, if you follow any of us on Twitter, is that Strawberry Shortcake, those amazing shorts that Shannon and I have been working on, are all coming to Netflix in spring of 2022, followed by 4 44-minute specials, which we're currently working on right now. So there's even more fun animation coming down the way for you if you are a fan of berries of all shapes and sizes.
I'm not paying for any of my dinners anymore. You guys are just paying for dinner every time.
It's cute. It's cute that you're pretending you ever paid for dinner.
Shut your mouth. Even more so now. I'm going to get the extra dessert. Even more so now. That Netflix money.
John's ledger is dripping with red right now.
I guess. All right. Anyway, Shannon, what do you got to be thankful for, my friend?
Well, we've watched the Marvel not necessarily have the smoothest transition into Phase 4 after what we just talked about. Eternals got kind of a mixed reaction. I think for the most part, everyone really likes Shang-Chi. some of the What If, or some of the Disney Plus series outside of What If, people have had their opinions, but it's still so much fun, you guys. And we've all been waiting for the next Disney Plus series, which of course is Hawkeye, which is going to be dropping tomorrow, or rather midnight tonight as we record, because it's Tuesday.
Or is that 9 p.m. for the West Coast people?
No, it's West Coast midnight.
Okay.
Yeah, I like HBO Max release strategy better. Disney Plus goes West Coast.
Gotcha.
But we're getting the first 2 episodes. Jeremy Renner's back as Clint Barton. Haley Stanfield as Kate Bishop. I mean, John has been lucky that he's already seen the first 2. Yes. And it sounds like for the most part, the reviews seem to be pretty good. And plus it's coming out just in time for the season. So that's something I'm super looking forward to. If you can't, if Hawkeye isn't doing it for you, if you're more of an animation guy like Vogel, just last week, Marvel released a series on Hulu called Hit Monkey. And it is an absolute blast. I am about 3/4 of the way through it right now. If you've ever wanted to listen to a salty Ted Lasso give assassination advice to a Japanese snow monkey, this is your show. I mean, it's seriously such a blast.
Is that a big? That's like 3 people who want that exact thing. But I'm excited. I'm excied to check it out. But that is very specific.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna watch that.
Is it 1, 2, 3? Thus far, like it is so much fun. It is a series like I will definitely want to revisit with folks. So yes, Marvel is bringing the goods this Thanksgiving weekend with Hawkeye and Hit Monkey. Don't forget about Hit Monkey.
Can't recommend Hawkeye enough.
I'm stoked.
Yeah, it was fun to do the review. Trying not to do any non-spoiler stuff. It was like walking around the edges. It isn't always easy. It isn't always easy. I was told today that if I was to reveal what happens in House of Gucci, that's a spoiler. I'm like, that's from 1995. How is that a spoiler? But some people don't know the story. So I'm like, oh my God. So anyway, you just never know. You just never know in life, to be honest with you. But this is really good. And it is the Matt Fraction run, and it isn't the Matt Fraction run, which I think is good. It's its own thing so that you can enjoy it for sure. And they make some interesting decisions about how they start characters at certain spots in their lives. And let me tell you this, the second episode, the LARP scene, is my favorite scene of the first 2 episodes. I'm telling you right now, you guys are going to love that scene for sure. All right, as for me, the things I'm thankful for are 2 things right now, and that is, the first is Encanto, this brand new film that's coming out as we're recording. This is coming out probably today when we drop this episode on Wednesday for people to enjoy with their families over Thanksgiving holiday. I can't recommend this enough. For those of you who follow me on Twitter, you saw my emotional reaction crying after I left the theater, finally seeing something of South American origin on a wide screen, brought to you by a studio with a wide reach. It was incredible. Yes, it's set in Colombia. My parents are Bolivian, but still the connection there of the South American culture, the South American vibe is all there, with incredible actors like Stephanie Beatriz and John Leguizamo being a part of this cast, and so many other fantastic Latino Hispanic actors and actresses being a part of this cast, telling the story of this family, the Madrigals, who are all born from, or have certain magic that they achieve at a certain age. And this one woman who doesn't have the magic, what her role is in her family, and the pressures of all of that, and what she ends up being, as you can see from the trailer, a possible savior for the family, and other things as well. The animation, gorgeous. The songs, fantastic. The designs, the photorealism, all of it is, I'm so thankful that finally in 2021, there is something here to represent our culture on a wide scale. And I hope to God people go see this and it doesn't die the In the Heights death, that people go and see this and support it and patronize it and give it love, because it's worth it. And the second thing I'm thankful for is the Beatles documentary comes out on Apple TV as well. That's something I've geeked out about since I was 10 years old, the Beatles. And so getting to see the 6-hour documentary and enjoy these episodes, I just got them early this morning, so I can't wait to sit down and watch them tonight and enjoy falling back in love with the Beatles, seeing these Let It Be recording sessions and seeing what they're all about, and getting to enjoy some Beatles content I've never seen before, because apparently there was like thousands of hours of footage that Peter Jackson combed to create this documentary. And I imagine since it's Peter Jackson, it's going to have more of a positive bent about what was going on as they were creating this music. And later on this week, Scott Mantz and I will be reviewing those for you all here on the channel as well. So 2 things to be very thankful for as a geek going into to this Thanksgiving. Michael,
I will say,
real quick question for you, John. Yeah. Is it on Apple TV or is it on Disney Plus?
Yeah, Apple TV is the Beatles one. Yes,
Disney Plus. I think
it's not on Disney.
Oh, is it Disney Plus? Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah. At Disney Plus. I apologize. Disney Plus. That explains why I couldn't find it on the Apple TV Screeners app. Yeah, so it's on Disney Plus.
I'm thankful that Johnny's still with us, even as he's getting older, and that memory is just slipping away.
Sophia,
I do have to say, I actually
Encanto is Disney though. I got that.
I got in this argument with somebody. So one of the things that I've done ever since I was a kid is I can't actually contain myself and wait. So I always listen to the music from the Disney movies before they come out. So I've already listened to the Encanto soundtrack like 35 times, and I bought it like a couple days ago. And so you sort of figure out some of the plot points of the movie and stuff like that. But I cannot wait to see these songs on the big screen because I am obsessed with them already. There's a couple songs that I just can't. It's just repeat. So I'm going to see it on Wednesday afternoon, and I cannot wait. And then I told Mr. McClung that I would probably take him later this weekend to see it again because I will probably see it about 5 or 6 times in the theater before it's available on Disney Plus around Christmas time.
My favorite song.
Sorry, go ahead, John.
Sorry, real quick. My favorite song is the Luisa Madrigal song about being the strongest person, but there's other stuff going on inside. Favorite song.
I know. I know that. I called that one a mile. I was like, well, this is John's favorite song. I knew.
As soon as it started, I was like, I don't know if I like the song. And then it kicked. I was like, Anyway, go ahead.
Is the song count comparable to Moana, or is it more?
Oh, yeah.
It is, well, because like one of the complaints about Moana, which I don't share this complaint because I love it, but basically there's How Far I'll Go reprise, and then a little bit later you hit How Far I'll Go again. And similar with that big song about the ancestors, there's that song and kind of the other one. So a lot of the songs are kind of the similar refrains in Moana.
Yeah.
Encanto has a bunch of songs, and they're all kind of bangers, and they're very different. Lin-Manuel Miranda is just not stopping anytime soon. And speaking of Lin-Manuel Miranda, I know we're wrapping up, but non-animation wise, but as you are combing all of the streaming sites this weekend, as you're trying to like take a break from the family, also check out Tick Tick Boom, the musical about Jonathan Larson's life. Jonathan Larson, who wrote Rent. Tick Tick Boom is the musical he wrote prior to Rent. They've done a movie adaptation starring Andrew Garfield. Lin-Manuel Miranda directed it. And if you are, I know that we're usually geeky about, superheroes and galaxies far, far away and all that fun stuff, but we're all big musical theater nerds too. And if you are also a musical theater nerd, do yourself a favor and check out Tick Tick Boom because it absolutely destroyed me on many, many levels.
Yeah, a lot of people already saying that Andrew Garfield, it's a 2-man race right now for best actor.
That's what everybody says.
I haven't Will Smith. Yeah,
I haven't watched King Richard yet. I'm going to check that out this weekend. But
HBO Max.
Everyone says it's down to those two for best actor. So
I'll say I enjoyed Denzel Washington and Tragedy of Macbeth. I'm just put that out there. But anyway, Shannon, is there anything you wanted to kind of add on to this?
No, I don't. I mean, okay. I'm still loving Succession, which is not, not like the geekiest show. And John, how you have not gotten on this train yet is just shocking to me.
I don't know.
I really, at some point, you're gonna break and you're gonna be like, "Why did I wait so long?" Because
Probably.
It is Brian Cox in that show is just you're gonna love every single beat that he does in that. Like, it's amazing.
It's Shakespeare. It's like Deadwood was Shakespeare in the West. This is Shakespeare in the awful financial world.
And this is season 3, right?
Yeah.
Season 3.
All right. I can catch up on 2 seasons of that. I did that with Mad Men in a week one time, 4 seasons in a week. So I can.
Oh, and once you go in on Succession, you just don't stop. You don't stop.
Okay.
You just.
All right. Sounds good. I like it. All right. Anything else we need to wrap up and say as we're saying thanks? Anything else you guys want to say or good?
No, just that we're thankful for our audience. Thankful for you guys.
Very much so. Thankful for you all. Thankful for watching us. Thank you for dealing with me, forgetting what streaming service is putting what out there. Thank you for being patient with me and understanding that my heart's in the right place, even though my brain might not always be there. I love you all madly, and we love you all madly as well for taking a chance on us. I mean, what are we in our third year of doing the Geek Buddies? So pretty incredible. 3rd year of doing the Geek Buddies. When we started out, we weren't sure if anybody was going to listen to us ranting and raving about stuff. And we've been increasing every year our listenership and our viewership. And it means a lot that you all have taken the chance on us and consistently come back and leave such incredible comments throughout the YouTube comment section whenever we drop a video, for sure. All right, so we want to say to you all, please have a great Thanksgiving, a safe Thanksgiving. Enjoy your family and your friends. And also, Shannon, what should they do during this Thanksgiving as well?
Yeah, if you'd like to follow us on social media, on Twitter, it's at Geek_Buddies. On Instagram, at _Geek_Buddies. If you'd like to follow me on social media, on Twitter, it's at Shannon_McClung. On Instagram, it's Shannon the Geek Buddy. If you would like to follow Mr. Vogel, it is at MKToon. If you would like to follow Mr. Rocha, it is at The Rocha Says.
Mikey?
If you threw a party and invited everyone you knew, you would see the biggest gift would be for me. And the card attached would say, "Thank you for being a friend." And we do thank you for being a friend. And here's what you guys can do as our friends. You can hit that like button below. You can subscribe to John's Outlaw Nation page where you can check out all kinds of content from all of our other buddies and friends. Leave some comments below. Let us know what you're thankful for this year. What geek stuff are you excited about in 2022? What things do you think were your tops of 2021? What are you doing for Thanksgiving? Let us know. Put it in the chat. If you are listening to us on Spotify or Apple Podcasts or anywhere where podcasts are available, we would be thankful if you left us some stars and left us some comments because it helps us go up in the rankings. We would also be thankful if you retweeted this video or posted it on your socials or sent it to your friends and said, hey, they should check out the Geek Buddies. That would make us so very thankful.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. There you go. All right. Well, nothing more to add to that. Thank you all so much. Take care of yourselves. Be well. And we'll talk to you next time with another brand new episode from the
Geek
Buddies.
Hey! And thank you, Carbon Health. Thank you very much, Carbon Health. We love you too, Pete.